In this lesson, I'll tell you about creating views and adding cameras to the 3D drawing. So before doing that, I'll hide all the objects which may cause obstruction. So I'll select that wall, and also I'll select this roof and this wall. So now let's right click, select isolate and hide objects. Okay, so now we have only these objects in our drawing area, and now I'll add camera. So before adding cameras, we need to just orbit this drawing to see it more clearly, and here we have it. And also I'll change the visual style to get a better glimpse of this drawing, so I'll change it to hidden. Now from this camera panel, click on this create camera button, and now your cursor will follow a camera. So go to this drawing area, zoom in a little bit and follow a point. So I'll follow this point here and I'll just click here. Now simply point this camera to its target location, and in this case the target location is this television set. So I'll click at any random point, so we can fine tune it later on, so you don't need to worry about being very precise here. Now let's press enter. Okay, now select the camera and you'll be able to see the view from your camera, which is obviously not very good. So now we have these gizmos, and using these gizmos we'll modify its position. So let's move it a little bit upward, and before doing that I'll turn off this object snap marker to make the selection more precise. Okay, there it is. And also I will change the position of the camera target location. So currently the camera target is pointing on that side, which we don't want. We want it to point somewhere in this area. So just like this. Since you can see the preview directly here, so you'll get a better feedback of how your camera is going to look. Now let's press escape key, and once again we will fine tune the settings of this camera, but this time using navigational wheels. So for that, select the camera and then right click and select set camera view. Now using this set camera view, you can change the view of your drawing to the view of this camera. And now we are in this view, so let's change the visual style from hidden to shaded, and now click on this navigation wheel, and this navigation wheel will appear. Now from here we have multiple options. So the first one is up and down. So let's move this camera a little bit downward. Now we'll move this camera towards left. For that, select the span and move it just a little bit towards left. Okay, and in such a way so that we can see the stairs and the maximum area as well. Now here we have this walk command. So select this walk option, and this will behave as if we are walking inside this house. So let's walk on the back side of this house so as to include maximum objects in the camera view. And okay, there it is. And I'll also move a little bit towards right now. So let's move a little bit towards right, and there we have it. Now we can also look upwards to see it more clearly. Like this, we will be able to see everything which is included here. So move the position of camera a little bit downward. So now our view is properly set, and we are including as many objects as possible in this camera view. So in order to make it a final view, let's close it and click on this view manager. But before doing that, we'll bring all the remaining objects. So I'll go to this unisolate objects and click on this end object isolation. And there is the problem. Since we brought it back, we find that the camera is right behind the wall. So I'll go to this navigation wheel and I'll walk a little bit forward in order to cross the wall. And there we have it. So now we have crossed the wall, and now we can see all the objects inside this drawing area. So now we can create this final view. For that, I'll go to this view manager, and now here we have this camera one view. So we can either finalize that camera one view, which we obviously don't want because we have manipulated it. So we'll create a new one. So click on new and give it a name. So I'll name it as interior, and leave all the settings at the defaults and click on OK, and click on OK again. So now we have saved this view, and we can return back to this view whenever required. In a similar way, we can create an exterior view as well. So for that, I'll orbit this drawing and I'll move to the exteriors like this. Let's zoom into this area, and once again we can fine tune the adjustments here. So let's bring the navigation wheel once again. So go to this navigation wheel, and Now let's select this pan so that this drawing can be moved in a proper way. And also I'll select this walk and move in the forward direction a little bit like this. Okay, so now we can see multiple objects inside this drawing, and let's move this camera a little bit downward. The height of camera is more than the required value, and now select look and look a little bit upward like this. Okay, so now we have set all the views for this also. Let's close this navigation wheel and go to view manager. Click on new and make a new view. So this time this will be the exterior view. So let's type exterior and click on OK and click on OK again to finalize this view. So here we have this interior and exterior view, and in order to switch back and forth between interior and exterior view, you can directly use this view drop down. So click on this view drop down, and here you will find all the custom view which we created. So here we have this interior view, click on it and we are back to the interior view. Click on this exterior and here we have the exterior view. In this way you can create even more views if required, and you can switch between them easily from that view drop down. So this was all about creating views and adding cameras in the drawing. In the next lesson, I'll tell you about adding artificial interior lights to the drawing.